operating on a frequency of 52 megacycles by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. A test program follows. To you who have been trained technically, I need hardly say that there's still a number of problems to solve. I guess you know them as well as anybody knows. But I think we've proceeded far enough to justify the statement, at least, that these technical problems are not insurmountable.
We're not going to see.
We are operating on a frequency of 52 megacycles by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. A test program follows. To you who have been trained technically, I need hardly say that there's still a number of problems to solve. I guess you know them as well as anybody knows.
Yeah, the glitch code is so good. Oh, I'm here. I'm like, hello.
Justify the statement, at least, that these technical problems are not insurmountable.
Oh, one beat something. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's KOTE show, and as usual, I'm screwing up the audio. Hi. In case anyone's seen, we are bringing back the KOTE quiz for this season's KOTE event. The quiz, I think, is going to become a regular fixture, and we're probably going to keep doing it the last week of the finals every time. Prediction result is yes. What?
The prediction was nobody put in there, but basically I put a prediction out. Will Chris remember to unmute?
I did, just before someone told me. Okay, so we're coming back with a KOTE quiz next week. We are inviting our special winner so far, Andrew, and not tonight. Andrew from the Manchester Mavericks.
Oh yeah, Andrew Kong and Katrina.
Not tonight.
Not tonight were the first people that I sent the advert to. Prize-wise, we've got a picture, but I've also got
we'll come on to that shortly. But we're looking forward to running that next week. So, Brett, man, how's your week been? Much forging?
I got to play in the Exalted Sealed yesterday, where I pulled an insanity of a Dark Harbinger deck, so I was happy with that. I've also been playing with my Martian Generosity Hypnotic Command deck, making people a bit sad with that. But other than that, just chilling. Playing a bit of Greedfall on the PS4 because it was free.
Ooh. I mean, this is the best time for Brett and I because we actually have less to do at this point in the event. I say less, not nothing. Brett still does 17 hours a day video editing for everything we do every day. But it's definitely a lot more chilled out at this point in the event for us. Of course, we still have to chase.
But surprisingly, chasing more results.
That's the one thing I did do for today as well. So there's a couple of vaults that we're missing, but we'll come on to that. So, let's jump into the news. We have lots of events coming on, and as we say every week, we are going to be giving people the opportunity to advertise their online events or in-life events. We're happy to go through a little bit of results. We're happy to talk through what your community is doing. We want to make this show to be not just about the KOTE event, but about your communities to help build up your events and show to the world how you run P4 to where you are. And we have some great stuff here. Coming up today. So, Brett, do you want to start off with the Swindle event?
Yes, so coming up this Sunday, we at 7 p.m. GMT, around 2 p.m. EST, we've got the Swindle event run by the Final Swindle Omega. You can jump on Discord and join, and basically you bring 4 decks with a cap of 275 SAS, and throughout the 4 rounds, you will change decks each round. So you'll play one deck round 1, second deck, third deck, fourth deck, and then moving into the top cut, you will choose 3 of those decks, and it will go to Triad, I believe. There was a bit of issue going on that side, but it's a very interesting format, especially seeing as it's a progressive Archon with a SAS cap, so you've got to be very careful picking your decks, and it's kind of lines what we're looking at in KOTE 8, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah, should be very exciting. So I'm gonna come on next, because we've got a few things to quickly move on. So I've been chatting to the French Association of Keyforge, or AFK. This is sort of a group of players in France who run two types of events. They have a league event that's a free online league. Again, like the Polish one we discussed last week, this is targeted at a French audience who want competitive play. There's no limits, play whatever you want. They do ban the older set. Players split into pools according to their level and confront each other on a round-robin in various formats. At the end of each season, the top players of each pool would advance to the upper level, with some others going down in traditional, like how football works, things like that. Each season the league is played asynchronously over 3 months, thus players can have their games set up at their own pace. But they also run weekly tournaments on a Monday. This replaces the traditional Paris chain bounds. Now, I have been to the Paris chain bounds now 18 months ago. 16 months ago. They were awesome. I got my ass absolutely handed to me. These are open to anyone, and like all other chain bounds, there's a small fee in order to support the store, but then we do have the FG Pride kits available there as well. And again, there's a Discord, and this is on Thursday evenings, not Monday evenings, my mistake. And there's a new format every week, sometimes limited SAS, sometimes other rulings, and they also have the usual ban list of Hearth of the Forest, Master Generosity, and Imperial Forge to keep games entertaining for all. People know my thoughts about ban lists. Personally, it's not something I would like to do for KOTE, but every time it comes up, we will have that discussion to make sure we're doing what people want. Hi, Keyforge Duck. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, we're well. We hope you are. So,
if you like your content and you like YouTube streamers, Keyforge Duck is a YouTube streamer, and he's one of like 7 people that stream on YouTube.
Wow. So, moving over to ABR, Brett, do you want to jump into this?
The Ancient Bear Republic Keyforge League is entering its 4th season, I believe, and basically this is an event where your players sign up, and you don't know where you're going to end up. So when you're signing up, you say how many decks are in your collection. There'll be varying formats each week, but it's a draft, which is really interesting. So you sign up, and the captains there will then pick players and draft into 4 teams. And those teams then fight it out over the course of a few weeks with varying formats and varying degrees of difficulty. And it's an amazing concept. There's a $10 entry fee, which is collected by the captains at week 1. But all that money then immediately goes straight back into prize support. And if you're a competitive player wanting to play against some of the best players in the game, I would definitely have a look at getting into the ABR League. Flaming Hobo did drop a link in the KOTE Discord, and the ABR Discord is one of the most active ones out there. It's a great place, and the ABR guys are absolutely amazing themselves. It's definitely worth giving a look into. It seems really good. And some people, like the Keyforge Premier League, ended up breaking the system last time by bringing 2 collections of like 600 decks. But
that just means their system should be better prepared.
Exactly, their team had a huge advantage.
So, that's the Brett. So moving on to the next thing on this is we do have some bad news, which isn't really surprising, is they have cancelled the 2021 German Vault Tour that was due to happen in April. Now,
it was very ambitious.
The first time I heard about this event was about 20 minutes ago when Brett told me it was cancelled, so I don't know how well advertised it was. But understandable with everything going on right now that the event has been cancelled and will not go ahead. However, the UK Games Expo that hosted the Vault Tour, not last year, but the year before, and should have held it last year, is currently scheduled for the end of July.
Yes.
Now, we all think this is going to be cancelled. But it hasn't yet. But they also
haven't
announced the Vault Tour there.
To be fair, the event might think it's going to get cancelled, because when you go onto the website, it says, when booking a hotel, make sure you book a hotel that has a refund policy.
Yeah.
So they're not sure it's going to go ahead.
I did like the fact that the hotel refunded me last time, because I didn't even remember booking a hotel without telling me. I just suddenly checked in my bank. Oh, I've got my Hilton points back, my Holiday Inn points back. And why is that? Oh yeah, because I booked the event and it got cancelled. So they cancelled it on my behalf.
But I would love to rock up in Birmingham and meet everyone again. It's been far too long. but everybody has been a bit skeptically optimistic.
Yeah. So moving on to Brett's crowning achievement for the last couple of weeks, the quiz 2, well, quiz 3 actually.
So for the quiz, we've got the questions are going to be harder. I am scouring every concept of Keyforge for this. I'm looking into mistranslated cards. I'm looking into creature names referenced in flavor text that haven't become cards yet. I'm looking at all sorts going ahead getting the best questions, and I'm going to be looking at previous quizzes we've done throughout Code 7 and taking questions from there to put into the quiz as well. So if you want to get a bit of a leg up, head over to YouTube, look at the previous quiz questions, because there's a good chance a few of them are going to end up on the quiz as well. We've got, as you can see, the prizes. You'll get one colour. You don't get all this. You get one set of inner sleeves, the Mass Mutation Premium deck, a set of sleeves of the colours, and a set, your choice of colours of the sleeves, and a choice of colour on the box. And any chance of getting the prize from the previous quiz? Not that he's still waiting.
Yes.
I will chase Chris up on that, but this is going to be posted out by me. Literally on the 3rd of February, I'll head to the post office, bang it on my wife's account. She ain't going to know. And get this sent out with a tracking number and get that tracking number out.
One thing to note tonight, I appreciate I've been crap. I have upgraded your decks to Mass Mutation decks. They are in envelopes. I just don't go out the house is the only excuse they do. It is purely on me, and I apologise for being shit. Brett will now chase me every day.
I'll every time I speak to Chris, I'll make sure to give us big shout out to Ninja Mitten Gaming Cafe in Scarborough, who were running an amazing deal on this and basically gave me a discount on a load of extra stuff that they had there, and sent it out to me very quickly. Yeah. Once finding out it was for the quiz. And who knows, not tonight. If you win the next quiz, I'll just get Chris to ship me the deck, and I'll ship it all in one go.
I'll just pay you to buy a deck; it'd be quicker.
That also works, yes.
But actually, to be honest, I should just pay Board Game Extra to post you the deck. Give me your address, not tonight. We'll see what we can. Again, I'll see if I can come up deal with Board Game Extra just to post them straight out from them to you, because I am
also incredibly hyped that Carl confirmed yesterday. This is Carl of Board Game in the City, not Carl of Creative Killer Machine. That according to their schedule, Dark Tidings does officially come out on March 12th, my birthday.
So here's the deal: if Dark Tidings comes out on Brett's birthday, we will have a special stream just to get in the way of his family day, announcing it and revealing our first deck.
There'll be so many people fighting that day. Literally, so many people fighting that day to stream.
So what we are going to do though is we are going to do a stream about probably my first deck route open or something like that towards the time. We're still trying to work out what to do. If you have any ideas what we should do, that'd be great. Can't touch this, Keyforge team. PM me on Discord so I can do what you suggested. But I look forward to the new set. I look forward to some fresh blood.
I believe she has just PM'd me the address.
Well, yeah, but it's more can't touch this.
Oh no! Ooh.
To message me.
Ooh. Yes. Yes, I would.
Oops.
Thank you, not tonight.
What's she done now?
Don't worry about it.
Right, so
that's the most foreboding thing that's ever happened.
That's not even close, but it's on the list. All right, man. So let's move on to the KFPL stuff. So, what a video as ever. As we are we muted? Yeah, no, I'm not muted. Awesome. What a video as ever. I mean, Jupiter is your quality man is outshining us. I must send you to train up our video editing team. Though as amazing as they are, our team of highly skilled video editors here could maybe learn one or two things off you. I mean, how big's your team now, Brett? Half of you?
Me and Flynn. Flynn is the one that sits with me while I'm going through the database of royalty-free videos, and then picks ones out, which is why like the video for the finals is a little bit weird. Hey, same as Jupiter's team, just us and a 3-year-old.
So, we're going to be covering the metrics in a second, so just give me 1 sec to get that ready. So, Brett, where do you think we're going to be going next to all of this stuff? How do you think KOTE 8 is going to go? Is my question.
Oh.
Or do you want to, or shall we remind people the format before we discuss that question?
Yes. So KOTE 8 is the SAS climb. Each week the SAS bar will be lifted, and you get to put in a whole new deck. And I think that is where it's going to be the most interesting. SAS is a good leveling field, but everybody knows it has got points of manipulation, and there are lots of decks that, although low SAS, can put up a good fight against some of the best decks. And I think that's going to be the key point here, is that SAS KOTE 8 is going to be about deck selection and skill, and I'm really interested to see where it's going to go, how it's going to climb, what people are going to bring, especially seeing as we have no ban list, so we're going to see a lot of Heart of the Forest, we're going to see Martial Generosities, we're going to see hundreds of witches. It's going to be interesting to put what people put in the deck, and I hope Litops doesn't burn out from having to process so much data each week.
It's going to be fun, and watching it, he's really looking forward to it. So let's begin going through Litops data for this week and see where we go. So this is the point every week where we go through the breakdown. This is done by Litops from Paris. He's part of the Baguette and Switch team, or Baguette and Chips as it is this time. He does an excellent job analysing the decks and his metrics. Now, next week, he's not going to have anything because he's out of ideas. But we'll be extending the quiz. So the quiz will be there instead of the feature game next week, because we'll be doing a live streaming of the final on Sunday.
Don't give away the information. The goal comes at the end, but yes.
Yes, but people won't watch that.
For the first time ever, the finals is going to be live.
We will announce the time and all that, I believe, at the end of today's stream.
At the end of today's stream, we'll play the video. The video goes live on YouTube at 11 o'clock GMT. But it's going to be an awkward one because kids are going to be around and partners are going to be around. It's going to be an interesting one for the people who are doing it. And
we'll have our special guest commentator.
Yes, we're going to have a third commentator, and we're going to try and get more of the community involved. We're not going to go into too much as to what's going to happen, because we don't want to try and give anything away for what's going to go on in the game.
I can't touch this. I thought you'd be around. You're playing.
Shh! That's the featured game today. Shut up.
We'll come down in a minute. So, as we're going to go through the featured game results now anyway.
Okay. But I'm expecting to see at least every member of Hamburg Atlanteans and Can't Touch This that isn't in the game in the stream.
That would be about 300 of them straight away. It'd be good to see all 300 of the two teams there together, and all the European guys joining in with the German-Polish divide, shall we say?
Yeah, as much as it'd been nice to have Knowledge is Power, the NA Giants taking on Hamburg Atlanteans, the European Giants, we have got a clash of titans of the EU bracket, of the EU teams.
Definitely. So, let's get started here. So, today we're just going to be going through the decks from the finalists. So Hamburg's Lantern 2, if you haven't read it, will be playing Can't Touch This, The Urchins in the final. Hamburg Lanterns 2 are obviously from Germany, Can't Touch This are from Poland. They are two of the big European team names. Can't Touch This every week do our deck analysis, and Hamburg Lanterns every week beat
Well,
us. I think
not
Sunday.
every week, because Can't Touch This won't be doing the deck analysis on Sunday.
For the
because
first
they'll be
time,
playing.
they've been given a week off because they're
Yeah.
playing. So we will. We have some deck analysis though ready to go, or we will do by then, and we'll look forward to it. So this is what they're taking in. So Hamburger Lanterns are going in with 2 Mass Mutations and a CATA deck, whereas Can't Touch This are going in with 2 Worlds Collides and a CATA deck. It's interesting, really, to see that. You can see the Can't Touch This, I feel, are taking the more traditional approach of what they've more refined, whereas Hamburger Lanterns are taking a little bit more of a gamble with 2 of the newer decks that we're not, no matter what anyone says, we're still not quite used to as much as we are the older decks. But it's not surprising. This surprised me less than if it had 1 of each, and unsurprisingly, AOA is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, the Lickall teams that the Hamburg Lanterns had to go through to get here were, I think, the last AOA deck.
Oh my god, that was a good game.
Well, the Screech Bombs have recorded it. They're going to get it to me as quickly as they can. But Mass Mutation has its niches, and with cards like Dark Amber Vault, with cards like Eaton's Jar, you can put. I prefer Mass Mutations towards Collide. I've got some really nice Worlds Collide deck, but I prefer Mass Mutations towards Collide, and I think that's what the Hamburg Lanterns are going here. But as with any deck, if you've got a strong Worlds Collide deck, if you've got a controlling Worlds Collide deck that can capture a lot, these Mass Mutations are going to struggle, because in terms of average creature power, I'm pretty sure Worlds Collide has got, apart from the huge gigantic creatures, there's a lot smaller creatures in Mass Mutation, which means Worlds Collide will be able to maintain the board a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I mean. Is Hamburger? The Mass Mutations is much more of each deck has its own niches, whereas I say Worlds Collide is more strategic. You get the deck, you follow the strategy for the deck. The Hamburger Lanterns are more reactionary. So to a degree, it's going to come down to the RNG of the draw. And it's going to be interesting.
Honestly, Dominic, do not worry about the deck commentary. We want you guys to focus on getting ready for the finals. The Screech Bombs have already are working on the deck analysis for us, so we're going to get that going. All you need to worry about for Sunday is getting ready to get the game ready.
Yeah, completely. So moving on to the houses here. So Hamburger Lanterns are going to have 3 Dis, 3 Logos on all of the decks. So each deck will have Dis and Logos, and then they have an Untamed, a Saurian, and a Shadows. So a Sanctum, Sanctum, an Untamed, and a Shadows. That's not too surprising, because Dis and Logos, as we've seen, are the most popular houses.
What is surprising is that Can't Touch This brought less Dis than the Hamburger Lanterns.
That is true. We should question about have they surrendered their namesake.
Yeah.
But again, there is a total of 5 Logos and Dis houses here across the 18 total. I mean, and let's be clear, Dis is your favourite house. Logos and Untamed are my 2 favourite houses. They are the three most common houses we see here. Shadows are always a good stable one. Star Alliance, I probably would expect to see more Star Alliance instead of the Saurian, but again, it comes down to the decks and the combos they work.
I mean, but you also got to look at the sets that are in play. So Starlights, and for 2 of the decks, Starlights and Saurian isn't a viable option.
True.
Worlds Collide Shadows isn't the best, so I can imagine the Shadows from the Urchins is going to be in the KOTE. And Logos in Dis and Mass Mutations is absolutely nuts. The lack of Bromnar is really disappointing. I wanted one deck of Bromnar to make it to the finals.
I don't know
just because of how small the representation was throughout the entirety of the tournament.
Hey, we had an AOA deck get to the semis, man. Let's just take that one. So, looking at how the Hamburger Lanterns 2 decks differ from the average, so the Hamburger Lanterns 2 appear to be running with the highest SAS of any house. So 95 is the highest SAS that we've seen in the event. But their decks are really, really efficiency high and disruption high. I mean, anti-synergy is irrelevant really at these deltas, but we see there's a high efficiency, high disruption, and also low cruiser protection. But look at that SAS 95.
Yeah, Hamburger Luncheon's not playing around when it comes to the SAS numbers.
I mean, even 76 is pretty low, but I mean, 76 is still can be a solid deck, especially with mass mutation. And look out for an article we have coming from Ivana about their thoughts of SAS and how it impacts with a mass mutation, and that should be going live, we hope, in the next few days.
After this week's games, I also want to try and get an article about each set's top turn 1 plays, because god damn you, Frandl, that turn 1 play haunts my dreams. I am salty for their opponent. I have transfer salt.
That's a thing, is it? Is it like an STI?
Yeah, it's like a contact salt. I was watching the game and got salty for the players.
Not tonight. We are expecting to see a lot of mass mutation and KOTE, but I
I'm
also
expecting
expect
to see
to see a lot of AOA. Yeah. In the first few rounds.
I think it's going to start off with a lot more mass mutation and AOA, and then as we get towards the end of the round robin, that's when KOTE and hopefully Dark Tidings will come in.
Oh, hopefully. Right, moving on to Can't Touch This. So they've got a maximum of SAS of 90. Only 90, not very much at all, really. It's a tiny number. But the minimum is, so the maximum is 5 points less, but the minimum is 4 points higher. So they would have the closer, sort of more level decks across their 3 decks. I mean, and again, if you look at the stats we're seeing here, they're completely different to what we saw for Hamburger Atlanteans. But comparing to the average across the board, they're a tiny bit higher. Okay, Amber Control, they're down 20%. Other, which we can ignore.
If you look at the ARC, the ARC scores, though,
yeah, they are a touch higher than the stats. So yeah,
averages are pretty much the same for both teams. Although they've got the same minimum, and there's 5 points, and there's only a 5 point difference in the maximum.
Mm-hmm.
That for me says that the average is only being 2 points different means that Can't have got very good consistent decks.
Yeah.
The Hamburger Luncheons, the 90 SAS may have a lot of synergies, but that also, if that number isn't going into efficiency and is purely going into power in the cards, a good efficiency deck might be able to outdraw it.
Yeah,
because you got to remember, SAS only talks about how much Amber and how much these cards will do through one running through of your deck. If you can go through your deck twice as fast as your opponent, your SAS is essentially double theirs if you draw well.
Well, the drawing well changes everything. So let's see how they look about next to each other. He says to press the run button. So, Hamburger Lanterns have a slightly higher SAS and a slightly higher AERC. The Can't Touch This have a better synergy, but Hamburger Lanterns' anti-synergy is humongous. And then Amber Control is better for Hamburger Lanterns, but Expected Amber is better for Can't Touch This. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Obviously, then Creature Control and Creature Power, Can't Touch This are beyond above, but the disruption and though the efficiency here is only plus 15%, that plus 15%, as Brett said, is a game changer. Being able to get through your deck so much quicker is going to be a real benefit to Hamburger Lanterns. But again, it still comes down to the RNG and the cards you have, and how you can get past the RNG.
I also love the fact that Hamburger Lanterns Amber Control is pretty much bang on the expected Amber of Can't Touch This.
It's going to be making it very interesting for your games, I feel.
It seems going off these stats, Can't Touch This are going to be more racy, whereas Hamburger Lanterns are going to be more controlly, which is going to be quite interesting because from what we've seen of Can't Touch This throughout the course of the tournament, they play slow, but they play powerful. Yep. So they can take 5 minutes to decide what they're doing on a turn, but then that turn will absolutely destroy the game.
So tune in at the weekend, and we'll be announcing the time of the live stream in probably about an hour to see how they do. But before then, we have our weekly quiz. So I would like to call out to Not Tonight as our reigning official quiz champion. Are you ready, Not Tonight?
No, not tonight.
Try not to say something completely inappropriate. I'm going to
while it's sending the rules to the players. Did you hear about the two people that were found dead in the desert?
I don't know. No, I didn't hear about the two people found dead in the
So
desert.
they're walking through the desert, and one of them turns to the other one as they're starving. Goes, "Look, it's a bacon tree! Quickly!" And they run over to the bacon tree, and they both get shot down. Turns out it wasn't a bacon tree; it was a ambush.
Right. Okay. I'm hoping everyone is laughing out loud, as I am inside. Yeah.
You started straight away. So,
I haven't yet.
record for the highest raw amber disadvantage when winning with how many pips? So how much was there between the lowest amber in a deck versus the highest amber in a deck?
I actually don't know the answer, so I'm joining in this week.
Yeah, go for it. The correct answer is 19.
I was wrong.
The lowest deck had 5 amber pips in it, and the highest deck had 24. That was the highest split.
All right, moving on to the next question.
Question.
The deck with the lowest C score of the whole of KOTE, C equals 3.5, still managed to win. What's the biggest creature power he managed to beat?
So that's how much. That's not. There wasn't a creature that had 110 power, or 100 power, or 80 power, 90 power. It's how much did the collective deck have?
We're ready for the answer?
Yep, let's go through. It was 110.
I got that one wrong too. So this is another one from the Shadows group. Ronnie from Lickle, who was playing Starlights Disuntamed. I am not pronouncing that deck name. Against Autocannon's Italy, so Mark's Raptor's Market Pupil. Not puppy, pupil.
Yeah. Right, move on to the next question.
Sure.
Working it and go. Winning while having a low expected amber against amber control. How large was the biggest difference between A of? So which deck won having much less amber control than their opponent? Is the answer 17, 19, 21, or 15?
I'm just randomly picking them, you realise. It works out slightly better.
That kind of makes sense. And I think I'll do a quick check of the scores because there's only 5 questions this time.
Okay, well, do a score check then.
The answer was 15.
So
3 people
close.
won 19, 3 people won 17, but oof. I thought decks with creature control 3.5 were unplayable. I've played decks with like 0 creature control.
He still loses, but yeah.
And we've got a first. There's not a single person with a positive score. Andrew Kong is winning this with the highest minus score of 969. However, Not Tonight has got the highest individual question score at minus 2,491.
Oh, that's only question 6 though. That's only question 6.
It's only question 3, you mean?
Question 3, sorry. Sorry. I ranked 6 of 7 for that, and 7 of 7 overall. Awesome, and I am so far behind. Oh god, I'm minus 50,000. Right, shall we move on?
Yep, moving to question 4.
Now the opposite, winning with a low amber control against a big expected amber. How large can the difference between E of a winner and A of a loser?
I didn't get all the questions onto here. I should really check them and just copying and pasting. Luckily, it's on the screen as well. I imagine some people are going to get this one right. But you see, it's a hell of a difference. Any of these are, really.
I got it right!
Yeah.
Again, this is another Shadows team. So the Shadows seems to have all of the questions about the maps and the smallness seem to come from the Shadows group. So we've got Maury from Team Otter Encoder, who again, I'm not going to pronounce that deck name, playing against D20 from Vietnam with Sloan Caves Heretic. Love the name.
Well, the last one was Jupiter.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah,
Most
E
of them are still
versus A,
Zeros.
who was Jupiter. He got the victory against.
So yeah, it still seems to be.
Yeah, I was going to check because I saw Jupiter was part of the questions.
Ah,
Right,
each of
and
those-
the final question, which some people here might even be part of the answer. During the 5-round Swiss, how many players went undefeated?
I can't remember for sure.
I know of one, but that, and then I can't come across others while getting ready to film. But it's more than I expected,
Just
but
because
less than I kind of felt like we would get.
It's not teams, it's players.
Yeah, it's individual players. So out of what we had 77 teams, so that's 300 odd players.
235.
Yeah,
is what we
something
had.
else like
Well,
that.
230, whatever it is.
Yeah, 200.
31, 231.
The answer was 13. 5 people went for 7. Again, a lot of people say, but no, the answer was 13. We had 13 players go completely undefeated. And do you want to read out the list?
Gabrielle Olivier, Dan Pauls, Anthony Boygod, Chatterfield A, Photoman 16, Diddy, Yum Gumbo, Verindi, Alligate Taito, Alligator Space Pope, that is, Zamirio Ugluk, Ollie C, Lorenzo, and Hamburg. And that's one of the people who was I don't know, Rich on our team played Ollie C.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some great players up there, and Alligator Space Poke as well.
Ollie C went undefeated with a deck that I beat in round 1, so I'm kind of happy with that.
Yeah.
Gabriel Olivia, part of the Brazilian team that took the 66 SAS deck into the top 8.
I thought I recognised that deck.
And Alligator Space Pope and Lorenzo, both captains of the finals. The finals teams.
I'm sorry,
But
it's gonna be.
let's have a look at the final results. Can't Touch This Keyforge team finished with the only positive score.
It's the second week we only have one team with possible. I think maybe we should have easier questions the next week. We'll have a quiz, so we will.
No.
The aim here is not to make it. I think I may have a chat with Baguette Switch about some easier questions as well. But I'm proud to come seventh.
For the finals.
So yeah, if you add
However,
if you go.
If you go over to question score, you get that Not Tonight was the only person to finish with a positive individual question score, but Counter-Assist team took it overall.
So if you add up the scores of the first 5 of the first 5 players, you get my score.
The main issue there, Mr. Kong, is if we put in a wooden spoon prize, once someone starts going a bit low down in the score, they're just going to tank as many questions as they can as quickly as they can to get that wooden spoon prize.
And to be fair, Mr. Kong, you came 5th, I came 7th, and I have the questions. Okay, so after that hilarious opportunity for us all, where's that gone? We will get ready for the next part of the show. So we're going to jump now to the KOTE 8 trailer just in case anyone has any questions. Why is that not playing? Well, we should be going to the KOTE 8 trailer.
It has not.
Just sort this out as quickly as I can. Where the fuck has it gone? Who's hidden my KOTE 8 trailer? Okay, we won't go one quick. Okay, we won't go to the KOTE 8 trailer. I'm not quite sure what happened there.
200 years later.
So the KOTE 8 trailer, as for those who don't know, we've already been through it briefly. During 2 weeks today? No, 3 weeks today. No, 2 weeks today.
2 weeks today, yes.
We will be drawing for KOTE 8. We already have 4 teams from Asia Pacific in. We have 2 international teams. We have 1 European team. We have a couple of US teams. We're looking forward to seeing everyone register on the last 5 minutes, stressing the hell out of me and Brett as ever. We would appreciate it if you register sooner rather than later, because the last day, I've got the Tuesday booked off work to prep.
And the benefit of registering sooner rather than later is you can always re-register. So
Or changing decks, yeah.
And basically change your deck. So if you've got a deck you want to play, don't forget, on the 1st of February, SAS is updating. And if your deck goes above 60, you won't be able to register it then. But if you've already registered it, it's locked in. And that's the key. You can always, if a better deck drops below 60, or drops to 60, re-register, change your deck, get it in. But if the deck you've got now goes above 60, you can't register it. So this is one of the rare events where registering earlier has got a slight advantage over registering later.
And for the 17 of you watching this stream who want to know how the hell do we do that, we do I've written some magic code that looks at the value, stores it, and then if you resubmit your decks, we look to see if you've already got that deck value stored. If you change your mind and want to roll back after you've already changed it, then the SAS look becomes a look. Talk to me.
Classic D&D logic, a wizard did it.
Yeah, basically, you don't want to look at my code. It works. We'll leave it as that. So, wise words for Jupiter. Jupiter's not even in the room, so...
No, yeah, Jupiter's gone off to make food.
For his missus, I believe, for her shift. So, we're now going to try the other video, which I'm now absolutely paranoid is not going to work, and see where we come from.
Which video is this one?
So the featured game. So this week's featured game is Hamburg Atlanteans versus
Knowledge is Power.
Can't touch this versus Knowledge is Power.
Yeah, can't touch this versus Knowledge is Power. It's so much easier to say than Zenzig.
But remember, we've got to use their proper name, and I wouldn't let them change their team name until the next event. So this is, for those who are watching, is Team Zazines, hopefully, unfortunately for the last time, Team Zazinzik versus Can't Touch This, the Urchins.